Oh, we are back once again. Yet another episode, day 3, episode 3 of Lolcow Nobodies. Billy's drunk driving, Stuttering John is drunk suing, and I was about to say sober, but I've smoked a lot of weed. It's Lolcow Nobodies.
Riley sitting in his basement room, Mike hot coffee brewing in the gloom, talking about a show round and round. It just won't let him go. Keemstar's voice echoes in his brain like a freight train humming through the rain. Lolcow Live, it's rent free, yeah. Set up camp and his head won't leave there. Spinning tales about tales, can't break free. Riley's podcast blues, that's the melody. Late nights he's got headphones tight, chasing ghosts in
Forgot
the
there was another
digital
verse.
light. Every word, every twist, every fight, feeding the fire he can't put right. Some folks move on, but not this man. He's knee deep in someone else's plan. Lolcow Live is rent free, yeah. Set up camp and his head won't leave there. Spinning tales about tales, can't break free. Riley's podcast blues, that's the melody.
Are you ready for a fucking show, ladies and gentlemen? It's Lolcow Nobodies, episode 3. We're back. Wednesday's show. Coming off of an episode of The Mo Show, which is what Redox is referring to when he says finally a good podcast. Ever the Mo hater. Redox. You didn't even say much today, and he really got to him. It was kind of funny. So yeah, another day. Another Lolcow Nobodies. Today we're doing the Lolcow report, which is I like doing recurring bits on podcasts, and this is like a full episode encompassing bit. We're gonna talk about other stuff too, so I guess not full episode, but a main episode encompassing bit, the Lolcow report, which I'm just gonna use as an excuse to talk about an internet retard that particularly fascinates me. And today, folks, what a retard we have. You see in the thumbnail, Mr. Stuttering John Melendez. For those of you unfamiliar, Stuttering John is the luckiest man on the planet and has somehow squandered that completely. Because Stuttering John is this fucking like gross, alcoholic, terrible looking dude. Lots of evidence that his hygiene might not be where it needs to be. Stuttering John is a whole mess. And Stuttering John also has made what I assume is an insane amount of money in showbiz. His career has been pretty successful. Should have laughed at Mo for him getting upset over very little. Maybe I should have. I can't win them all. I can't win all the getting Mo. So Stuttering John Melendez. I've been making it clear that I've recently grown a fascination with radio and being on the radio, and like legendary comedy radio programs, mostly Opie and Anthony, but also a little bit of of course, the most legendary Howard Stern, who has been in the news again lately because his show is maybe on its way out, although now they're doing some big ad on Sirius, so I have to assume they've worked something out. But the Howard Stern show, everybody knows the name, even if you don't quite know what it is. It's like the biggest show in radio. It used to be like a good comedy show, and now it's just like a shitty leftist interview show. But back in the day, they would do a bunch of fun like pranks and stuff. And one of the fun pranks was I'm trying to now I can't be centered without my dirty shirt being visible in the camera. There you go. But so they would do all sorts of little pranks, one of which was they had a stuttering weirdo named Stuttering John go around and interview celebrities and ask them stupid fucking questions. And it was funny because John was a weirdo and had a silly voice and a stutter, and he would go up and he would make celebrities uncomfortable. That was Stuttering John. That made Stuttering John a boatload of money for years because he was working for the biggest show in radio. And then Howard Stern gets into a fight with Jay Leno of The Tonight Show, one of the biggest talk shows there is. And Jay Leno, as like an own, decides to steal Stuttering John from Howard. It's a big move as he offered Stuttering John like 5 times what he made on the Howard Stern show, and he became the announcer for Jay Leno. And the secret about Stuttering John this whole time is that he has no talent at all. And he does this bit on Howard Stern that somebody else wrote for him that's mildly amusing. He comes on Jay Leno, and is the announcer, and that doesn't work out very well. He loses that job pretty quick, and those are his two big credits. Which, if you were a performer and you had those two big things, and then you couldn't find another success, you'd probably just give up. Or at least, which I guess John eventually did. I guess that's the one good thing you could say about Stuttering John is that he did eventually give up. But he did a show after after Howard Stern and Jay Leno, for a long time on YouTube. And that is when Carl Heberger comes into the mix, one of two defendants in this new lawsuit that we're going to be talking about. And he's got a show called Who Are These Podcasts? Who Are These Podcasts? Very simple concept. They're Opie and Anthony, probably Howard Stern's greatest rivals. They used to do a thing called Jocktober, where they would listen to other radio shows, they would pull clips, and they would make fun of the clips. Who Are These Podcasts is that, but podcasts. You got Carl and his rotating cast of internet comedian friends. They bring in a podcast, they shit all over it. It's a great show. And they decide to bring in Stuttering John's podcast. You know, Stuttering John, Howard Stern, Jay Leno, big celebrity. You really don't think he would concern himself with what Who Are These Podcasts has to say about him, especially in the past when nobody knew what Who Are These Podcasts is. People are starting to learn now, and John is the the reason for that. I think. Oh well, that might help the lawsuit. He's not the reason for that. I don't wanna tell tales out of school. I'm deafened in the Discord still, guys. Eventually, I'll remember to do that when I first come back after the theme song. But they cover Stuttering John's show. Just like, like fucking, oh, look, it's Stuttering John for Howard Stern. His podcast sucks. Haha. Fucking innocent shit. And John is just so upset. in like a hilarious way. So they keep doing it and they keep doing it. And John keeps getting worse. They keep finding old clips of John. We start to learn through they call it the dabble verse. Because during an interview somebody said that Stuttering John dabbled in comedy and he got all like uppity about it. He's like, "What do you mean I dabble in comedy? I'm a comedian. Ooh, I'm Stuttering John." So we call it the Dabbleverse, is the making fun of Stuttering John universe. You see, what's the better universe, the Dabbleverse or the Maybe that should have been my angle. What's the better Lolcow universe? Is it Keemstar's LCU or is it Carl's Dabbleverse? But because there's been plenty of new Lolcows who have come about because of John. That's the beauty of the Dabbleverse. Oh my god, the Dabbleverse really was the first LCU. I never really thought about this because like it's just this universe of people who are there. They were there to make fun of Stuttering John, and then it spun, and like some of them were also retards, and the funnier ones would make fun of those ones, and it just turned into this whole cast of like now we've got fucking Steel Toe Aaron Imholt who's licking cum off of Nick Rekieta, or licking Nick Rekieta's cum off of his wife. And you see Aaron Imholt is really the king of locales. We'll have to do locale report Aaron Imholt at some point. But this whole universe stemmed from John, I guess, in the same way that the locale universe stemmed from Wings and Boogie. But so they make fun of John. John gets pissed. They go back and forth for years and years. And they always find new footage, new clips, new shit to make us all understand just how much of a unfunny, untalented, creepy blob of a man Stuttering John is. And at some point, the thing in question here for the lawsuit, some girl named Kate Meany, who's like in her 20s, decided to like gaslight Stuttering John into some sort of flirtation, some sort of relationship, and then record all the creepy shit that he's saying, hitting on this 20-year-old girl. And Carl and his buddy Shuli from the Shuli Network, who I guess used to work on Howard Stern and now is part of the Dabbleverse, did a whole like live event. They all got together. They did a stage show where they made fun of these tapes of Stuttering John, this fucking fat, old. But like I used a very I think I used like a Howard Stern era picture. Is there an older picture of Stuttering John I can throw on screen? Okay, here we go. Here's the one from the New York Times article that I have up that I'm probably gonna read about the lawsuit. Let me show this on screen. Image, news source. This one. There we go. There's Stuttering John. This fucking old man. He doesn't look that bad in this picture. Like he cleans up okay. You can see it still. And he's in his 50s too. Like this looks like if this was like a 75-year-old man, I'd be like, "Okay, good for you, John. Really keeping it up after all these years." But this man is in like his 50s and he looks like a decently aged adult man's grandpa. So and he's hitting on this 20-year-old chick and they're making fun of it on stage. And I guess it was illegal to record him or whatever. So that's the grounds of the lawsuit, but the real grounds of the lawsuit is just that he doesn't want to be made fun of. You know, these the and a lot of people make the argument like, "Oh yeah, all these Dabbleverse guys wouldn't have anything without John. They're living off of him." You're allowed to live off of making fun of a guy. If you weren't, Dick Masterson would be in jail, and I'm sure Maddox would be thrilled about that. But that's not the case. Let's read the New York Times article, or New York Post, I think. I might have said New York Times earlier. I meant New York Post. This is by Gabrielle Fahmy, is the author of this article I'm going to read for you. Stuttering John Melendez suing podcaster pair for secretly recording his voice and mocking him. Okay, he's 50. Okay, he's 59. Still, no, you got to be in your 70s to look like that and for me not to be concerned. Stuttering John Melendez is suing a pair of podcasters for secretly recording his voice and using his name and even his couch cushions to make a buck off of his quote significant fame. I'm glad they quoted that because that definitely deserves heavy air quotes. Significant fame. Even the things he did do, like what? Okay, maybe the Howard Stern thing is in its own way significant fame. I'm sure a lot of Howard Stern fans remember Stuttering John and talk about Stuttering John. Definitely not Tonight Show. He was barely involved in the Tonight Show. I'm shocked he talks about that as much as he does. At least it seems like he was very involved, barely involved in the Tonight Show. Melendez, 59, claims comedians Carl Heberger and Shuli Egar used illegally recorded private phone calls to mock and ridicule him on air and in live events where he was the main attraction. Melendez is a well known figure in comedy and broadcasting with a distinctive voice and persona that he has cultivated over decades. Melendez said, "Oh, okay. I assume that was his lawyer. It's weird to quote that to Melendez. He's talking about himself in the third person. Oh, Stuttering John's a really great guy." Melendez rose to fame on the Howard Stern Show, asking celebrities questions. Um, Melendez's name and likeness carry significant fame and goodwill among audiences, he contended in the August 7th legal filing, adding Heberger and Egar were, quote, not as well known. I mean, now, no, I guess, again, Howard, so you're always going to have like the cult classicness that comes with Howard Stern. But when it comes to anything outside of Howard Stern, 99% of those people would not give a single fuck about John. So it's kind of I don't know. Egar also worked for Stern until 2020. At the center of the complaint is an event held in Rochester last August called DabbleCon 2, aimed at online fans who quote dabble in internet gossip. Nope, that's not what Dabbleverse means. To be fair, I only recently learned what it meant too, but Heberger 47. I didn't know Carl was 47. Damn, he's getting up there. Heberger 47 and Egar 50 allegedly teased juicy portions of secret phone calls between Melendez and comedian Kate Meany, in which he makes unsolicited advances toward her. And then there's some pictures of Carl and Shuli. Look at this fucking picture of Carl they used. Okay, I'm stealing Dick Masterson's bit here by making fun of this picture. But I just we gotta look at this. Hold on. We gotta take a look at this. Imagine you get sued, right? And this is the fucking picture they use. You hanging out with fucking weirdos dressed as Muppets. Like, and doing like, look at me, I'm Carl. And reasons why I would not personally use this picture to represent somebody in a news article about a lawsuit, but what do I know? I'm glad you guys can hear the fucking Windows noise when I delete the pictures. I didn't think about that. The duo has systematically used excerpts of those recordings along with Melendez's picture and other personal material as the centerpiece of their podcast and comedy act for months, Melendez said in the legal filing. People in their fucking like likeness, you know? Like whatever. You're a celebrity. Fucking get over it. Uh, Heberger and Egar even trespassed on his Los Angeles property and rifled through his trash to snatch sofa cushions from an old couch display to display as a comedic exhibit in Rochester, he alleged. Okay, two things. First of all, hilarious. No notes. Second of all, it wasn't Carl and Shuli. It was somebody else in the Dabbleverse. Somebody else in the extensive world that is the Dabbleverse. I wonder if that one viewer I lost is Redox. He's not fascinated by my presentation here. The pair put the used cushions on display for attendees to photograph and joke about, essentially treating his discarded trash as a trophy. Melendez claimed in the lawsuit. The stunt was clearly intended to ridicule plaintiff and to further entice fans by offering a bizarrely intimate connection to him, it states. Oh, are we taking the parasocial angle on this? Like, oh no, they're so parasocial, they're gonna steal his couch cushions. I guess that is a parasocial thing, but like not in this context, where we all just think it's funny. And we all know that John's pathetic and those couch cushions are probably fucking radioactive. This lawsuit is completely frivolous. The frivolous? This lawsuit is completely frivolous. This lawsuit is completely frivolous and without merit, Heberger told the Post, denying any wrongdoing and slamming it as an asinine attempt at a money grab. This lawsuit is a sad attempt for a sad man to make money, added Egar. That's pretty good. It's not the first time Melendez has gone after people for using his voice. In 2020, he sued SiriusXM, claiming the company exploited his name and voice to produce to promote Stern's show when he left after 15 years. He ultimately lost the case. What are we thinking? 0 for 2 for John? Fucking great court record, bro. You really know how to sue him. You know how to pick him to sue him. John is not an intelligent man. We've watched him make the same mistakes over and over, added Heberger. Melendez was on the Howard Stern Show from 1988 to 2004, when he left to become the new announcer on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, where he worked in various capacities until 2014. Oh, okay, so he was always around for The Tonight Show, or at least for a few years, but he was not the announcer for long. Okay. In 2018, he launched the Stuttering John podcast, where he gained attention for a prank call to President Trump. Did he actually? Did he prank call President Trump? Hold on. Prankster said he was a senator to trick Trump into returning his call. What the fuck? Is John funny actually? Hold on. John Melendez, Donald Trump. Okay. Let's listen to let's listen to Stuttering John prank call Donald Trump.
Yes, this is Edwin Menendez. Yes,
Okay.
this is Edwin Menendez. Is the president available? Yep, one moment, sir. I'll connect your call. All right, thank you.
What the
Senator
fuck,
Menendez, are you
dude?
still there, sir? Yes, sir. Okay, one moment, sir. He stepped away from his chair. I'm getting ready to ring his phone right now. Just one moment. All right, thank you so much. Sir, your call is connected. Hi, Bob. Hey, how are you? How are you? Congratulations on everything. We're proud of you. Congratulations. Great job. You went through a tough situation, and I don't think a very fair situation, but congratulations. Thank you
What
so
are you
much.
talking about?
And, I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. President, but obviously my constituents are giving me a lot of beef about this immigration thing. I know that you did something really noble by, by trying to, get the kids back with their families. But I have to answer to them. What can I tell them that you're going to do moving forward? Bob,
Is
let
this
me,
real?
let me just tell you, I want to be able to take care of the situation every bit as much as anybody else at the top level. I'd like to do the larger solution rather than the smaller solution. You know, we do them, they're doing them step by step. I think we could do the whole thing. You know, I have a good relationship with the party. You have a good relationship with the party. And I think we could do a real immigration bill. We have to have security at the border. We have to have it. I mean, look, you got 60% of the country, they've got to have security at the border. And that's a good issue for the Democrats too, Bob.
Okay,
It's not
I'm waiting for
like
the
it's good for
punchline
you or
here.
good for me. It's good for both of us. People are tired of, you know, of the problems. No, I understand that, but go ahead, no, but I am Hispanic, so I have to, you know, I'm sure you understand. You know, so I have to, you know, I have to look into my, you know, I have to look into my people as well. You understand? I agree. So, Bob, here's what. Let me do this. I'm on Air Force One. I'm just coming back. We had an amazing rally in North Dakota, actually. Yeah, I saw the speech. You know, I saw the speech. It's going to be good. You know, it's a tough.
Okay, there's a transcript of the call in the description. It does not seem like it ever devolves into a joke. It is funny that he got into contact with the president, that he successfully tricked his way into talking to the president. However, he should have like done a bit. He's a comedian. It doesn't seem like he did anything funny besides the actual act of getting into contact with President Trump. But regardless, what a fucking so many. I wonder what percentage of lawsuits have any merit at all. Because anytime I hear about somebody suing somebody else, it's always like fucked and bad. Like this fucking H3 shit is crazy. He's fucking subpoenaing Reddit to get the identity of trolls so he can sue them on top of this pile of fucking random streamers that he's suing for reacting to his video. You know, great sin. It's okay. Sorry we did that. We'll never watch one of your videos again. Sorry. That should fix the problem. And it's the worst because it fucks with people's lives. Like that's the thing. Obviously, a situation that has been brought up a lot in parallel to this lawsuit, because of Carl's connection to Dick Masterson, is Maddox and his lawsuit. And it is very similar, in that it's just it all it boils down to is like a fucking mentally ill baby reeing into the wind because he's being made fun of online. And it's again, Maddox tasted success a little, like main line mainstream success, and but John had it. He was on the Howard Stern show for fucking 17 years or whatever the fuck. And he's just evolved completely. He should have retired with dignity. If he couldn't handle, he's making almost no money on his gay political podcast. If he couldn't handle Carl, just fucking retire. Take your fucking Scrooge McDuck room of money that I'm sure you have from the Tonight Show and Howard Stern, unless you're retarded and you spent all of your money, just go away. But no, he had to keep fighting back and escalating and escalating. He quit his podcast to get away from the Dabbleverse at the end of last year. And now he's doing a big stupid lawsuit. And he's playing stupid games, and I'm certain he is going to win stupid prizes. And I wish Carl a lot of luck, and I hope that fucker gets countersued. That was what we missed out on from the original lawsuit, from the Maddox flavor lawsuit, was the fucking countersuit, because Asterios lost sanctions and nobody else was willing to do anything. We need to see John burn for this. We need to see him burn. It's fucking disgusting. Frivolous lawsuit because of all the legal fees. Like fucking Asterios fucking got wiped out with all the fucking legal fees. It took him so long to like recover. And thankfully, I think that Carl and Julie are making enough profit in this here Dabbleverse that they're going to be able to pay for the lawsuit without it destroying them. But it's certainly going to be an issue. And it sucks that they have to spend even a cent on this bullshit. And I hope that they get their fucking what they're owed. And that's the bottom line. No calls today. I guess there was no calls Monday either. I got spoiled yesterday. We have a booked guest for tomorrow. Harry Otter is going to be joining us to discuss Dark Side Phil, among other things. So that's going to be a good time. So I guess today in Lolcow, take us to what I'm sure you're all here for. Billy the Fridge is in hot water. One of my favorite people in the LCU. I fucking love Billy. He's a great guy. But I guess maybe he was drunk driving on stream. That they're conflicting stories. So again, Keemstar made this point, like you're never gonna know what's true unless you were there. But I've heard that he drank and then he drove. Some people say it was several hours later. Some people say it was not. And now there's, of course, Keem. Keem's got to spin this into, oh, everybody's got to punish. We got punishments. That you see, this is where I'm gonna have to get used to the new LCU. I've been hearing about these punishments that everybody's getting all the time. I got a taste of the punishments during the Boogie Cancer arc before Tommy was fired and I left. But I guess that's just everybody's doing punishments now. So I guess there's a LCU wide punishment because of this, where the hosts can no longer smoke weed or drink alcohol during the show, which unfortunate. I don't know if I would be able to hold myself to that standard. Maybe. I could probably pull it off. I could probably stay sober for when Keemstar realizes my immense talent and makes Lolcow Nobodies a real Lolcow show. But yeah, I don't know. Billy's cool. I'm glad that he didn't get fired or suspended or whatever the fuck. I meant to watch Rewind last night to see the response, but I just couldn't stay up. That's the issue with a 24-hour network, is the people who are in the time slots after that are before 7 a.m. or after 10 p.m. It's like, I didn't care. I need to go to sleep. So I did not watch Lolcow Rewind or Lolcow Balls like I intended. But I believe in Billy. I bet the least terrible version of what occurred is what occurred. And that this is a overreaction. I do feel like people are too morally outraged, though. The people who are acting like, oh, he put people in danger, like whatever. Just like, it's against TOS. You're a fucking retard. Nobody's allowed to drink. That's how you respond to it. I think the moral outrage is just a little much. It's just a little much. Why do you care that Billy the Fridge is drunk driving? You're not Billy the Fridge. You're not somebody who lives around Billy the Fridge. Nobody's getting hurt. Billy can do what he wants. Billy's a hero. He's an internet legend, Billy the Fridge. He's earned a little drunk driving. Just a little drunk driving as a treat. Oh, the price of the PS5 just went up, I guess. That's funny. Welcome to Tariff Land, guys. Man, I think that's about the only interesting development in the Lolcow Live world right now. Like Live was fine last night. Cafe was pretty good this morning. Cafe had a good little Lolcow rundown. Tommy's getting into the lore of some of these Lolcows that get discussed. There's some clips of Amberlyn Reed, who's me but a woman. Some other fat bitch, foodie beauty, um, fucking World of T-shirts, which oh my god, that kid, that poor fucking liver melting ass kid. It's real rough for World of T-shirts. Keemstar tried to save him. Keemstar tried to rescue World of T-shirts, and he wouldn't. He just Keemstar reached out his hand. Josh wouldn't take it, and now he's running around with Mr. Bass, and people are telling him to put the fries in the bag, and he's fucking biting his skin off and throwing a fit. I hope someday that kid gets some help. I don't want to hear that he fucking died on the street at the age of 24. It's a poor, poor thing. The thing about John too is he's just like such a fucking sleaze. Like that's been everybody go check out Who Are These Podcasts, of course. One of their most recent arcs is they're covering some radio show that John did like producer work for, that he was also on the mic for like one of the days during the week. For Stephanie Miller, who is a lesbian radio woman. I don't know if she identifies as a comedian or not. But on his show, there's so many like female comedians will come on and he'll just like hit on them grossly after being shot down several times. It's truly gross. He's a Spurg who World of T-shirts. The I don't know about the stream delay. Whether we're talking about John or Lord of T-shirt, World of T-shirts, that is true. But World of T-shirts especially. We need to get him off the alcohol. We need to get him away from fucking Mr. Based and just get him to calm down a little bit. Maybe get him some pills. Get him some fucking sane pills. Get him some Tommy C pills like fucking Bo Blacks. You can't handle Tommy C. I'm glad that Tommy is tearing up his morning show. I think it was like 630 concurrent viewers at max today, which I think is pretty good for like the shittier lolcow shows. I don't know what Keem specs. I have a delay. Yeah, Josh Bly. Yeah. You know, I think Keemstar was the way. Keemstar would have fixed him. Josh Block was with Action Man. Who's Action Man? Yeah, really, it was the Stephanie Miller clips are the best because like all of the female comedians immediately shut down John, and Stephanie Miller always is on their side. So it's just like John will get like fucking dogpiled immediately. It's like that video of that like dog or cat. I don't even remember what animal it was, but it was just like it was misbehaving, and then fucking like 10 people just pointed at it at once in a circle, and it just stopped. That's what's happening there. Is like he's trying to hit on this bitch, and then he gets pointed at in a circle. He's popping feels. That was a funny one where he definitely touched one of their tits, and she like called him out for it on air, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't do that. Oh, I didn't. I promise I have no recollection of that. I would never do that. I'm a feminist. I'm Stuttering John." And then there was this girl. The first girl he got on was like relentless in tearing him apart, and it was fucking hilarious. And then they got her on Who Are These Podcasts to rip on him again, and it was brilliant. The Dabbleverse is a beautiful place. Maybe I need to do a Dabbleverse show instead of an LCU show because I think the answer to who has the better universe, the Dabbleverse or the Lolcow universe, I feel like it's the Dabbleverse. But Josh needs to join some sort of verse that has people who want to protect him. I feel like Keemstar. Listen, if Keemstar can get Boogie to stop eating and lose some weight, I bet he could get Joshua Block to stop drinking. I think he could do it. I think Keem could pull that off. And whether he'd want to pull that off or if he'd want him to keep drinking to make him money, were he to be part of the LCU, that's another story. That's a whole different story. What kind of degenerate kick streaming activities is Action Man up to? I only know about Mr. Bass, the guy who maybe allegedly actually caused somebody's death. That was the one time I tuned back into Locale Live actually after Tommy left was during the arc where Keem was sending his autistic Discord agents to chase an armed criminal who was hiding from police. Which the if Keemstar had created the circumstances in which two Discord kids got fucking murdered, that would have been an interesting arc. But thankfully nobody got hurt. I think they might have even found him. But regardless, what a fucking stream concept where it's like, oh, I got a bunch of retards on Discord to search for Mr. Bay, and it's like they're gonna get killed. There was literally a guy on stream who still had like stitches and bleeding and shit from Mr. Beast, not Mr. Beast, Mr. Beat beats him up. Maybe that's why they call him Mr. Beat. You don't want to hang out with a guy named Mr. Beat because he's gonna beat you up. It's my great wordplay, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Mr. Based is like Walter White, but for like degenerate streaming. He's like a criminal mastermind. He's got to make his money by just showing Joshua Block get fucking tortured. Action does Adderall, gets plastered, becomes belligerent to other streamer, and does coke and heroin. Oh, If he just did coke, that might be cool, but the heroin's not. Probably also the Adderall in combination with those other two things. It's not very good either. I want to, if you would get over your fear of fucking being on streams, Redux, I want to talk to you about the land of like degenerate streaming and also about your relationship with Lolcow because I know you watch sometimes, but particularly about the degenerates because that's a new realm of Lolcow that not as many people talk about. It's these weirdos that you found that just walk around town and getting plastered and fucking with people. It's a great idea. I should start doing that. Just fucking take a bunch of drugs and run around and be like, look at me. Don't tell me to put the fries in the bag. The fuck you, I'll kill you. Why does that upset him so much? Just calm down, little bro. Like that's what I think in my mind whenever I see like Joshua Block crash outs. It's just like literally like fucking chill, little bro. Like what is your problem? Fucking look at this little guy trying to look all angry. Just calm the fuck down, you spurg. Stop drinking. I'm at work. It has to be a weekend. Okay. Maybe we'll do a special episode because this is going to be usually a Monday through Friday show, but maybe I'll stick a weekend one for you, Redox. I guess also another Lolcow universe news. CD-ROM, runner up for worst Lolcow host, is I guess still having problems resulting in that Lisi chick who is allegedly fat. That's a shocking allegation that I've heard. But she seems pretty hot. And she broke CD-ROM's poor little 30-year-old virgin heart. And now he's just a wreck. And I guess the black guy from Lolcow Nerds came in and shook up the feelings a little bit. And CD-ROM was not happy about it. And Keem is like, you guys gotta defend yourselves. And now he's again moving the chess pieces. He's put their primetime slot at risk. I guess CD-ROM's fucking show gets a primetime slot that now Lolcow Nerds is gunning to take if CD-ROM can't fucking get his act together. I didn't watch Tech Talk obviously because CD-ROM sucks and Sweet Tea's not much better. Rastov seems interesting. I might watch some balls because I like Billy and Rastov seems interesting. But man, always something. I wonder what the next drama is gonna be. We've got the Billy the Fridge drunk driving. We got Boogie guilt tripping about his dogs. That was pretty fun. So that was a multi-layered thing. Where on Lolcow Live last night, Keem kept bitching about Boogie's dogs, which like it's a live show and he has dogs. Like the dogs are gonna bark. I think this is obviously just Keem looking for something to fight about. And then Boogie's response is like, "What do you want me to do? You want me to give him away? Oh, I guess I just won't have my dog anymore. Who wants my dog?" And he's just like, he's immediately going to the guilt tripping. It's like, "Oh, I guess I just can't have my dog anymore because Keemstar said, like, shut up." Boogie playing the sympathy card is so played out. Even if Keem is being unreasonable about the dogs, like just tell Keem he's being unreasonable and to fuck off. Life would go on so much better if more people were willing to say that. But they don't want to lose their money, so they're not just gonna say Keem fuck off, which is what everyone should say all of the time. There's talk of the baited reunion, of course, with Tommy working for Keem again. I guess the 10-year anniversary is in a couple of months, and Tommy said he'd do it. Um, he if he's still working for Keem, so it's definitely possible. I think it would be funny, Batgirl is doing all of these characters. I think it would be funny if Keem came on Cafe and Batgirl put on a clown costume and talked in a British accent, and it was the baited reunion. That's pretty good. Maybe I'll send a super chat to Cafe and uh, give them that idea. It's the baited reunion, everybody. What else? What else? I am glad, with the Dick Masterson Maddox lawsuit, I didn't get to be around for it. It had like just ended when I became part of that fan base. Now I get my very own lawsuit that I get to follow and enjoy the hilarious content that comes out of. And it sucks for Carl, but it's great for me. Like in all seriousness, I hope Carl wins the lawsuit, but it's gonna be fucking hilarious along the way. So much fucking lawfare shit going on in the Dabbleverse, because there's the fact that Aaron Imholt has that revenge porn case with Kayla Ricada. There's the restraining orders that Aaron Imholt is trying to get on Nick Ricada and Patrick Melton. And now there's the fucking Stuttering John lawsuits. Fucking all court all the time in the Dabbleverse right now. You're going to jail, mister. Do we know what's going on Lolcow tonight yet? Let's check it out. Lolcow Live. The Twitter still says Batgirl, Boogie and Batgirl. Oh no, no update yet. We don't know what's going on Lolcow Live today. Have Boogie or Wings said anything of note? I'm just trolling for content at this point. Boogie. Nothing really. Wings of Redemption. Oh, he's selling the Pepsi pimp shirt. Oh, I guess it's his first ever T-shirt. That's crazy. Being on YouTube this long, I can't. I don't even know if I buy that. Now I'm just scrolling through Jordy's Twitter. There's Kiwi Farms reporting on him throwing a controller. Oh, Wings. How does Wings still let video games get to him so much? You'd think he'd eventually kind of just like glaze over, realize that like he gets in trouble every time he gets too mad at a video game, and like calm down a little bit. But then again, I'm sure it's a big reason of why he makes his money is all this fucking performative gamer rage shit. So hold on, I'm texting about family stuff. Okay, sorry about that. Um, let's see. We got 3 more minutes to kill Riley. Let's think of one more actual substantial thing to discuss. I will say this whole Batgirl doing characters bit, that was a good, that's what I'll say. I don't think, no, 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 the first broadcast of Wings had happened yesterday. But I don't think I mentioned that Batgirl came in dressed as Wings at first. And I almost clicked off, but I was like, no, this is gonna be a double work, and it was a double work. But yeah, that was a good move. That was a good Keemstar troll. But with that, I haven't quite hit time yet. But I got through my Stuttering John stuff, and I talked about what's been going on in Lolcow, and I have to piss really bad. So this is gonna be the end of the episode. Tomorrow we have Harry Otter on talking about Dark Side Phil, the lost member of the Lolcow universe. I wonder if Team can get Phil on one of his gay side shows someday. That'd be pretty funny. But anyways, folks, thanks for listening to Lolcow Nobodies.